afternoon, colleagues. I am pleased to call to order this regular meeting of the Permanent Council, convened to consider the items included in the draft order of business, document CP/OD 1987/14. If there are no objections to the order of business, we shall proceed to adopt it. Are there any objections? No objections. It is so adopted. The next item on our order of business is the election of 2 members to the Leo Rowe Fund, Funds Committee, a topic which was included in today's agenda at the request of the Permanent Mission of Antigua and Barbuda. The Leo Rowe Fund was established in 1948 with an initial endowment from a legacy bequeathed by Dr. Leo S. Rowe, ex-director of the Pan American Union. For the last 65 years, the fund has been granting interest-free student loans for higher studies in U.S. universities and also providing interest-bearing educational and emergency loans to OAS staff members under specific conditions. The fund endowment has been entrusted to the Permanent Council and is administered by a committee comprised of 5 members, 4 countries appointed by the Permanent Council from among its members, and the Secretary General of the Organization of American States. Today we are going to elect 2 members to the fund, but before offering the floor to the delegations, I would like to offer the floor to Ambassador Deborah May Lovell, Permanent Representative of Antigua and Barbuda and Chair of the Leo Rowe Fund Committee. Ambassador, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, as you've said, the Rowe Fund was established in 1948 with an initial endowment from a legacy bequeathed by Dr. Leo S. Rowe, ex-director of the Pan American Union, the precursor of the OAS. For over 65 years, the Rowe Fund has proudly fulfilled Dr. Rowe's vision to contribute to the human development of citizens of the OAS member states by granting interest-free loans for higher studies in U.S. universities. The fund also provides, as you also mentioned, interest-bearing educational and emergency loans to OAS staff members under specific conditions. The Rowe Fund endowment comprises member states from 5 different regions, as well as the Secretary General or a representative of the Secretary General. In fact, Madam Chair, Article 3 of the statute reads, "The committee shall include 4 members of the Permanent Council and the Secretary General of the OAS. All 5 members shall appoint an individual as their representative and may appoint an alternate representative, all of whom shall be duly accredited." For this reason, Madam Chair, we have had Chile serving from 2010 to 2013, representing Alade, United States from 2011 to 2014, representing North America, the Dominican Republic from 2012 to 2015, representing SICA, and Antigua and Barbuda in her second 4-year tenure from 2013 to 2016. Now, Chile's 4-year term as a member of the committee expired in December 2013. As chair of the Leo S. Rowe Fund, I would like to thank Chile for the cooperation received and for the commitment that was so readily displayed at meetings. So, from the chair to Chile, thank you very much for your participation in the Leo S. Rowe Fund Committee. Now, Antigua and Barbuda is in her second 4-year term, as stated, and this will expire in 2016. However, due to extenuating circumstances, Antigua and Barbuda will no longer be able to carry out its duties on the committee, and so the position of CARICOM will have to be filled. Madam Chair, as the representative of Antigua and Barbuda and as chair of the Legal Fund Committee, I would like to report to the Permanent Council that at this time, in nominal terms, the assets of the fund are at the highest level since the inception of the fund, that is, in 66 years. Madam Chair, I would also like to report that the default rate of the fund is less than 1%. And Madam Chair, if I could share with the Council that we have sought to broaden the reach of the fund so that many underrepresented countries of the region are now benefiting from the fund. But of course, the chair, that is Antigua and Barbuda, could not have done this alone. And I would like to thank the ambassadors and the representatives who sat on the committee in order to provide opportunities for the youth of the hemisphere. Moreover, Madam Chair, the chair is indebted to a group of young people who have sought to ensure that the applicants of the fund, that the characteristics of the fund are known throughout this hemisphere. And the young people are sitting behind me, right here, led by Lina Civillano, whose dedication is unrivaled, whose commitment and devotion to the fund is an expression of her desire to help the young people. And as chair, I am in awe of her hard work and the way in which she seeks to be proactive in all areas. She and her team, consisting of Anna Lemus and Gaitan Buchan, have made the chair's work so easy. And if you could join me, Madam Chair, for giving these young people a round of applause for the assistance given in the Leo Fund. So, Madam Chair, as I have said to you before, the decision of Antigua and Barbuda to take up the mantle given by St. Lucia was in keeping with the thrust that Antigua and Barbuda saw in promoting the welfare of youth in the hemisphere. But through the cycle of diplomatic life, postings come to an end. And so it is my duty now to present to the Council the fact that there are 2 openings in the Leo Fund. And I would just like to say how grateful I am and how privileged I feel to have served the Permanent Council in this capacity as chair of the Leo Fund. So please record the gratitude of Antigua and Barbuda as having served as chair of the Leo Fund, and to say how confident I am that the fund will go from strength to strength under those who will be selected to help guide the workings of the Leo Fund. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ambassador Lovell, for your words. And also let me personally thank you for the tremendous work that you've done with the Leo Fund. We all know how important that fund is to young students who have been studying in the United States and who have found themselves with certain financial problems and wish to continue that study. And I am pleased to see that you have carried and you have implemented the mandate, in fact, the legacy of Dr. Leo Rowe in making sure that students from all the countries of the hemisphere are able to participate in this Leo Rowe Fund. And particularly those countries that were underrepresented. As you know, there are certain conditions by which you'll be able to benefit from the fund, and you have made it very flexible so that students from the Eastern Caribbean in particular are able to benefit from the fund. And I would like to thank you and your team of Lena, Anna, and Gathan for their tremendous work. I have worked with Lena and Anna, and I know that they're truly dedicated to making the Leo Rowe Fund work as a fund for students in need. And I am certain that they will continue the work that you have provided such excellent leadership, for which you have provided such excellent leadership. Let me thank you again, Ambassador. And I also take this opportunity to thank the other members of the committee, Representative Chile, who served as a committee member from 2010 to 2013, the representative of the United States, who served from 2011 to 2014, and the Dominican Republic, who represented the Council and served and will be serving until 2015. Let me thank you and congratulate you again. We'll now proceed with the election of one of the two members to the Leo S. Rowe Fund. In fact, we have two members. We'll do first one member, and I'd like to open the floor to delegations to submit nominations. I now give the floor to the representative of El Salvador. You have the floor, sir.
Gracias, señora presidenta. Haciendo eco de lo declarado por usted y por la representante permanente de Antigua y Barbuda respecto al éxito del fondo y el compromiso del equipo del mismo, complace a nuestra delegación postular la candidatura de la delegación de San Vicente y las Granadinas para ocupar la representatividad caribeña en la Junta Directiva del Fondo Rowe y pueda así continuar el compromiso de dicha región con el éxito incrementado, con la cobertura exitosa, ampliada y equilibrada que ha caracterizado a dicho fondo a tenor de lo que la representante permanente de Antigua y Barbuda ha tenido a bien manifestar. Complace, por consiguiente, nominar a la delegación de San Vicente y las Granadinas para que continúe esa labor. Gracias, señora presidenta.
Thank you, Ambassador. I now give the floor to the Ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I would like to, on behalf of St. Kitts and Nevis, second the nomination of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as the representative of CARICOM on the Leo Rowe Fund. I think we all know how important education is to the hemisphere, but primarily the CARICOM member states count on this as one of the major tools in reinforcing the development agenda of our states. It is therefore the absolute pleasure of St. Kitts and Nevis to lend its full support in seconding the candidacy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis. The representative of El Salvador has nominated the ambassador of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a member of the Leo Rowe Fund Committee, and this is seconded by the ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis. You have therefore, Ambassador, been elected to be the third member on the committee for the Leo S. Rowe Fund. It's my pleasure at this time to offer the floor to delegations for the second member of the Leo Rowe Fund. Ambassador Bolivia, you have the floor, sir.
Muy buenas tardes, señora presidenta. Muy buenas tardes, colegas. Presidente, en principio, permítame agradecer a la delegación de Chile por el importante rol que ha cumplido también en el Fondo Leo Rowe. En esta oportunidad nos complacemos en presentar a la República de Paraguay como representante del Grupo ALADI para que pueda ser parte de este fondo. Creemos que las tareas que vaya a cumplir van a ser muy importantes en beneficio de los estudiantes, en beneficio de los interesados en poder poder beneficiarse de este fondo, considerando que la formación de recursos humanos es uno de los elementos fundamentales para el desarrollo de todos los pueblos. En ese sentido, proponemos a Paraguay para que pueda ser parte de este fondo, Presidenta. Gracias.
Thank you, Ambassador. I now give the floor to the Ambassador of Belize. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, first of all, I would like to express our congratulations to Mexico and the Central American countries who are marking their Independence Day today. Congratulations to all of them. And if you allow my slight circumvention of protocol, I think that all of us are familiar with the tremendous work that Lady Deborah Lovell, the Distinguished Ambassador of Antigua and Barbuda, has done with the Leo Road, those tireless hours, that whole dedication. And as she's moving on now, handing over, I think that the least we can do is recognize her tremendous work and give her a round of applause. But Madam Chair, I am delighted to take the floor to second the presentation of the candidature of the delegation of Paraguay to fill one of the seats on the Leo Row board. I know that all of us are familiar with the tremendous work that they do on a whole, and we know that their dedication to issues that have to do with the provision of opportunities for young people, the expanding of the menu available for funding sources, especially with a fund as important as the Leo Row. We all know that Paraguay will do a tremendous job. I therefore am honored to second the nomination and request that their election be done by acclamation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ambassador. Ambassador of Paraguay, Eliezer Ruiz Diaz, you are now elected to the chair, to the Leo Row Fund Committee. Congratulations, Ambassador. I now give the floor to the Ambassador of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Good afternoon to everyone. Madam Chair, members of the Permanent Council, I am pleased to have been elected to serve this organization as the CARICOM representative on the committee of the Leo S. Rowe Pan-American Fund. Let me first of all thank the outgoing CARICOM representative, Her Excellency Dame Deborah May Lovell, for her confidence in asking me to succeed her in this role, and to my CARICOM colleagues for supporting that suggestion, and of course, to all delegations of the Permanent Council who have agreed to my election here today. I believe it is the first time St. Vincent and the Grenadines has had the opportunity to serve in this particular capacity before the Permanent Council. And as the permanent representative of a country that places a very strong emphasis on strengthening educational opportunities and scholarships for young people, it is my special honor to have been elected today in this capacity. A great deal of work has been done by my predecessors, yourself included, Madam Chair, and I hereby acknowledge and pledge my best efforts to do justice to the work that has been done by others like Ambassador Lovell and yourself, and to serve the committee with earnest determination to continue to uphold the Leo Rowe Fund as a seminal facility available to students of the Americas in pursuit of higher education. I look forward to working with the other committee members and the Secretariat in maintaining the success of the fund. Madam Chair, since I have the floor, I hope you will permit me to say a few more words as an homage to Her Excellency, the Dame, whom I succeed as the CARICOM representative. I don't think there would be any better time than now to salute the contribution which she has made to the Leo Rowe Pan-American Fund, both in her capacity as the CARICOM representative for the last 8 years, as well as having served as chair of the committee during those 8 years of service. Under her stewardship at the helm, the fund has grown tremendously, weathering the financial crisis of 2008, and the financial records will show, as you heard her say earlier, that the fund is currently endowed with the greatest nominal value of assets it has ever had since its inception. During her chairmanship, Madam Chair, the Roe Fund has also better served students of the hemisphere. Her advocacy for and on behalf of the fund has resulted in stronger geographical representation of students benefiting from the fund. Prior to her tenure, many CARICOM countries, my own, St. Vincent and the Grenadines included, did not have students benefiting from the fund. However, as a result of her outreach and strong advocacy, we have fully 31 out of 32 eligible countries boasting students as beneficiaries of the fund. Of no minor importance also is Ambassador Lovell's laudable accomplishment of having found ways to augment the sub-guarantee fund made mostly from individual donations. And for this, I know that she has been tirelessly engaging with several permanent observer countries for their support in this regard. I know that her success as the CARICOM representative and chair of the Roe Fund has been all but guaranteed as a result of her constant mantra of focusing on youth education and development. Anybody that knows Dame Deborah knows that this is her passion. Madam Chair, I had the opportunity to sit in this morning as an observer to the Roe Fund's annual meetings with the fund's financial advisors. I was very impressed by Ambassador Lovell's facility with understanding the intricacies of the financial reports. Passion drives understanding, and this is highly evident in her leadership of the committee. It is also clear to me that her own dedication to the fund has been a source of inspiration to the technical secretariat who have worked with her on this. Ambassador Lovell, on behalf of the CARICOM delegation, I wish to thank and congratulate you for your sterling performance, both as the CARICOM representative and chair of the fund. Your legacy has been defined, and you leave steep stilettos for the rest of us to walk in. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I now give the floor to the Ambassador of Paraguay. Ambassador, you have the floor, ma'am.
Gracias, señora presidenta. Antes que nada, quisiera extender también las felicitaciones a los pueblos y gobiernos de México, Centroamérica y Chile por su independencia, atendiendo a que el día miércoles no tenemos consejo, embajador. Para la delegación de Paraguay es un gran honor y responsabilidad formar parte de la comisión del Fondo Leo Roe en nombre del Grupo Aladi. Es un honor y responsabilidad porque este fondo ha sido desde su creación un apoyo de vital importancia para muchos de los jóvenes de nuestros países que tienen la ilusión de iniciar o concluir sus estudios en instituciones acreditadas en los Estados Unidos. No es necesario reiterar que la juventud es la esperanza de un futuro mejor para nuestros pueblos y con más razón aún cuando esa juventud ávida de conocimiento logra alcanzarlos para aplicarlos en el bienestar de las Américas. Por esos motivos, señora presidenta, estimados colegas, es que buscaremos contribuir a alcanzar los fines del fondo y colaborar activamente para que a través de la ayuda del mismo, jóvenes estudiantes de nuestros países se eduquen y preparen para un mundo cada día más exigente. Por tanto, la delegación de Paraguay acepta y se compromete a brindar todo su esfuerzo a cumplir cabalmente el mandato que hoy recibimos. Igualmente, hacer el agradecimiento a la embajadora de Antigua y Barbuda por todo el trabajo desarrollado en este tiempo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Ambassador of Paraguay. I now give the floor to the representative of Chile.
Muchas gracias, Presidenta. Deseo en primer término agradecer a la colega embajadora del Paraguay por los saludos que ha prestado a mi país por sus fiestas patrias en los próximos días. Aprovechar también para saludar al delegado de México y a los delegados de Centroamérica por su Día Nacional. Deseo aprovechar, Presidenta, para agradecer la confianza que nos otorgara el Grupo ALADI, refrendado después por este Consejo Permanente, para haber trabajado durante 4 años en este Fondo Leo Rowe, cuyos resultados nos los ha explicado la presidenta, la distinguida embajadora de Antigua y Barbuda, a quien deseo no solo agradecer, sino que además felicitar por la excelente función desempeñada. De igual manera, deseo felicitar a los 2 países que han sido electos para desempeñarse en este fondo. Me refiero a San Vicente y las Granadinas y el Paraguay, y por supuesto les deseo el mayor de los éxitos en el ejercicio de sus funciones. Gracias, Presidenta.
Thank you, Ambassador. On behalf of the Permanent Council, let me congratulate both ambassadors again for the elections, for being elected to the Leo Rowe Fund. As we have heard from all who have taken the floor, a very important fund for students who wish to continue their studies in the United States. We now move on to agenda item 3. I would like to give the floor to the Ambassador of Guatemala for a status report on the declaration, the resolution for the 46th special session of the General Assembly. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Muchísimas gracias, señora presidenta. En este momento quisiera yo solicitar a la presidencia la suspensión de este Consejo Permanente por 1 hora aproximadamente, mientras terminamos de afinar los detalles de la resolución. Estamos muy cerca de tener acuerdos definitivos, pero necesitamos un poquito más de tiempo. Si fuese eso posible, se lo agradecería mucho.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador. Are there any objections to giving the group, as proposed by Ambassador of Guatemala, 1 hour so that it could continue the work as mandated by the Council? If there are no objections, it is so agreed that the working group will have an additional hour to continue their work. But before we proceed, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the people of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua that today celebrate their independence. I would also like to congratulate Mexico, Chile, and St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as Belize, which will also celebrate their independence in the next few days. Congratulations, ambassadors, to you and your fellow countrymen. Having agreed to the request by the Ambassador of Guatemala for additional time so that the group can complete its work, we will now convene at 4:30. Ambassador of Guatemala, you have the floor, sir.
Gracias, señora presidenta. Sí, solo para, primero que nada, agradecer a las distinguidas delegaciones por habernos concedido este tiempo adicional, y segundo, para pedirle a los miembros del grupo de trabajo que permanezcamos en esta sala para continuar nuestras deliberaciones a efecto de poder avanzar con mayor prontitud. Gracias, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ambassador. The working group will work in this room. It is so agreed.